Welcome everybody. My name is Elizabeth Aloni and I'm with Schneps Media. Schneps Media is the largest local media organization. We publish in New York City. We publish over 70 newspapers, magazines, websites, podcasts, webinars, and events in Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Westchester, Long Island, and Brooklyn. So we are reaching many people and are thrilled that you are here with us today. We have a terrific group of experts for this CAMPINAR, Plan Your Child's Summer. I'm going to introduce each of them so that you can know who they are, and perhaps you each can give a wave so that everyone can put a face with a name. So first I'd like to introduce from Hofstra, Jessica Dease. Since 2010, Dease has served as the Associate Director of Hofstra's youth programs. She also oversees the Hofstra Saturday Classes for Young People program, which offers 75 different courses to hundreds of Long Island students each year. A former Long Island educator, she's also worked at the Hofstra summer camps as a counselor and administrator. She holds 2 degrees from Hofstra University, a BS in psychology and elementary education, and an MS in special education. Also joining us from Hofstra is Terry Ryan. Ryan has served as director of Hofstra University summer camps, where he coordinates the largest university summer camp program in the country for 21 years. During his time at Hofstra, Ryan has also served as the staff assistant for promotional activities for men's basketball. Ryan was an educator for 11 years in the Levittown and Valley Stream school districts before joining Hofstra summer camps in 1999. He holds a degree in athletic administration from St. John's, a master's in elementary education from St. John's, and a professional diploma in educational administration from Dowling. Please say hi to everybody, Jessica and Terry. We also have Laurel Barrie, who is the owner and founder of the Camp Connection. The Camp Connection specializes in assisting families in selecting high-quality summer programs for their children, finding that special camp or teen program. The Camp Connection is a free advisory service to you. With over 36 years experience, they represent more than 600 programs. They devote their attention to working closely with each individual family, assisting them to find the most appropriate choice for their child's summer program, whether it's a traditional co-ed sleepaway, a sports camp, a specialty camp, a teen experiences, and many, many more. She spends time, and her team spends time meeting with camp directors and their camps year-round. With their updated researched information, they have the knowledge to match a potential camper's profile with potential appropriate summer options. Please say hello to everyone, Laurel. Next up, we have Mark Transport. Mark is the owner and director of Crestwood Country Day Camp and brings a lifetime of experience to the Crestwood family with over 25 years of directing camps. In addition to Crestwood, he's owned and directed multiple camps, including Camp Wani and Camp Taconic. He's well respected in the camping community as a consultant and as a mentor to aspiring camp professionals. Mark received a dental degree from NYU, graduating in the first 6-year BA DDS class in the country, and practiced dentistry for over 25 years before focusing on camp full-time. For the past 3 years, Mark has been the president of the Long Island Camps and Private School Association. Mark has served on a number of philanthropic boards, including SCOPE, which sends over 700 of deserving children to camp each summer. He works closely with the American Camp Association and is on a committee that arranges events for its members. He served as a board member at Temple Beth Torah. Mark resides in Dix Hills with his wife, Merrill, who graduated from the University of Maryland and worked in advertising and marketing for many years. Their daughter, Jillian, attends the Whitman School of Business at Syracuse University. And their other daughter, Lola, is a golden doodle who enjoys playing with her friends at Crestwood. Welcome, Mark. We're happy to have you. Now say hello to Tiffany Belferder, who is the head of school at Fusion Academy. Tiffany was a practicing therapist for 7 years prior to joining an alternative private school, Fusion Academy. What drew Tiffany to Fusion was the mindful approach in seeing the whole child, because each classroom is one-on-one. By focusing what each child can do rather than their deficits, the students bring their best for themselves and for the teacher they develop relationships with. Being that her approach has always been to find the strengths in people and draw them out, Tiffany found Fusion Academy as an encouraging, dedicated educational setting to fulfill that vision on a larger scale. 7 years after beginning at Fusion, the impact of relationship-based education is not only in the self-esteem of students, but their overall growth, ability to self-advocate, and resilience for whatever their future holds. Tiffany has been the head of school for nearly 6 years and leads by encouraging the behavior she wants to see. It's important that all around her feel safe, encouraged, and challenged to reach their highest potential. This way, she has encouraged a team of staff and students to set high goals and achieve them. Say hello, Tiffany. And last but certainly not least, we have Steven Fink, who founded and operates SummerTech and Coditum, which currently reside on the SUNY Purchase College campus. But no campus, 2020, they're going digital. SummerTech has been running strong for 15 years and has been a staple of computer education for thousands of children and developed hundreds of young leaders and teachers who have gone on to notable careers. Coditum has been operating since 2013 and has gained the reputation of teaching computer programming to children at an accelerated level. SummerTech has changed the conversation of computer pedagogy with great success and results. Steven recently donated $50,000 to begin SummerTech's scholarship fund at SUNY Purchase. The SummerTech Scholarship Fund will provide scholarships to undergraduate students enrolled in Purchase College's School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, majoring or minoring in mathematics, computer science, or new media. Steven is a member of The Grapes, a musical outfit from Atlanta, Georgia, and has performed over 2,000 live shows in 44 states from 1986 to present day. The Grapes have shared the stage with many national and worldwide acts and continues to maintain a presence on iTunes and other online music retailers. Steven Fink holds a BFA in music education from New Jersey City University, where he graduated with honors. He also attended the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, where he was a piano performance major. Steven has worked as a music teacher at Washington Middle School in Harrison, New Jersey, since 2012, where he has revitalized a music program by creating its curriculum and establishing performance classes and computer education offerings not available in the Harrison district. So wow, welcome, Steven. We certainly have an incredible team of experts here, and I want to get right started to diving in and learning about what they're offering. So I want to start out with Jessica and Terry from Hofstra. What made you decide to move to digital offerings, since in the past you had been on campus?
Well, one of the things we did, we have a group on our campus called Institutional Research. And we met with them, Jess and I, and just came up with what would be a good survey to get everybody from the camp families that's been coming to us for years, their opinion on how to move forward, what they were looking for. The questions range from everything from safety to what kind of courses you were looking for, how many hours, how many days. So we put that out to our database and our camp families, and then we met, on a Zoom call together and came up with what we thought would be the best plan moving forward. We're a little unique from everybody else is that we're on a college campus, and we have to just always keep in the back of our mind that there will be college students that are looking to come and start their semester in August. So everything kind of also centered around that was the end game, that at some point we had to be able to put together either a program that would work and then be cognizant of the fact that there were college students coming on campus soon after we finished summer camp.
Got it. So now that you've decided to go digital, what makes Hofstra's digital offerings unique for the summer?
One of the main things is that we're offering live classes every day. They're taught by certified teachers or professionals in their field. Some professors are on board to teach them classes as well. So that's something, it's not a pre-recorded lesson. It is a live interactive class every day that we're able to offer the students.
And one of the things we got out of the survey was that most of the families and the students wanted something a little bit different. Mm-hmm. They weren't into, I think they were a little bit zoomed out. They're a little bit, Google Meeted out from the teachers in there. So that's one of the things Jess and I worked a lot of hours on, was putting together programs, coursework that would be a little bit different, something not just, the reading, writing, math, and, science things, but something a little different, something that might be able to occupy their time for at least part of the day, as opposed to coming to camp for the full day.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good point, is helping children with the burnout of being online and making sure that the offerings are something of interesting. What are some of those popular camp offerings that you have that you're seeing maybe are the most popular?
Yeah, some actually one that's been really popular is our cartooning program. It's something, like Terry said, very different. It's not a typical academic thing. They're going to be drawing. The teacher has a studio set up. He's really looking forward to showing that. And also we do have some technical programs like our video game development. Esports is very big. Those are some things that are really getting a lot of interest because it's not, as Terry mentioned, the typical classroom that they've been doing. It's something very outside the academic box for them.
What is esports?
Yeah, it's esports. Is actually competitive video gaming, and they play different games, and they actually are learning the technology and the coding behind it, as well as playing against each other.
Yeah, it's become in
it's
the
huge.
Gaming industry. It's the new thing. They sell out 30,000 seat arenas around the country. Yeah. I know most of the schools, including our school, have club teams. There's also varsity teams. So we just started to get into that a little bit a few months ago. But like Jess said, it's basically competitive gaming, like where you would watch two teams play baseball. You can participate and watch two teams play esports.
Yes.
And what a great combination of both the computer piece of it, the gaming piece of it, and also, you know, the experience of sports. Because I know that even children watching sports, even if it's online sports, it does help with the physical, doesn't it? Help them to see.
That's part of what, and I've been to a couple of conferences. Like I said, it's become a big thing in the college world. Is they believe, you know, they're athletes and they train and they do exercise just like everybody else, and they meet and they have game plans and they have fans, and there are actually people, you know, maybe not LeBron James, but people on that field that they know and they follow on into it. It's crazy. I listen. It's not. I'm too old for the esports stuff, but it was fascinating just to watch. And I went one night on campus on a Sunday evening, and there were about 100 kids, and you would think that this was, you know, the Yankees playing the Mets and, you know, the Subway Series, and it's that important to them. So it's new, it's up and coming, it's going to be big, you know, in the next couple of years. And we just kind of touched base with it, but like Jess said, we offered it in there. You know, it's one of those things, again, that when we did the survey through the institutional research, they were pretty adamant that was one of the things they wanted to get to know more about, because that's not something you would do at school either.
Yeah, it's amazing. So what sports are available? Is it all different sports, or is it a particular sport?
It's not really sports like you know it. I mean, there is like there's FIBA soccer, there's hockey, there's football, but it's more like there's certain games that they play each other, like that there's a whole network of people that just play these certain video games where you can get points and score different, you know, different fields, and different screens come up depending how good you do. But I know I went to a conference out in Bayshore, and they have a whole lab. I mean, like you would think a computer lab just for esports, and a team and coaches. One of the kids, believe it or not, got a scholarship to a school out in the Midwest to play. So it's new and it's hot.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, what grades do you offer classes? You know, what are the days, kind of the hours? What can someone, you know, if they're looking to?
So we offer a large variety. So we do have weekday programs, Monday through Friday. Some classes are 1 week in length, and they're ranging from an hour to 2 hours online, depending on the program. We have things for as young as entering kindergarten up until seniors in high school. And then we also have Saturday offerings as well, which is 1 day a week. So some families just want to do something once a week, not dedicate the whole time. And that is available as well. And we have classes for as young as, again, kindergarten up until 12th grade for those programs.
That's great. And where would you tell people to go to learn, you know, more about the offerings? Are they available on your website?
They're directly on our website, hofstra.edu/camps, and that website links to all of the programs, whether it's a weekday program or a Saturday offering. They're all within that one website.
And then can you register right there?
Yes, you can. You can register right there. You can call the office. The number is on the website. They can register directly through the website or call our office, and we'll be able to take care of that as well.
That's great. So it's a no-touch environment where you're really able to get your kid to do a variety of things and keep them safe, and, you know, feel safe. And also it's good for people who are not going, who are going to work and can't necessarily entertain their children the whole time.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much. That's great to hear. I would love to hear from Laurel. This Camp Connection, this is a very new concept to me. And I'm sure for a lot of people. So can you tell me, what is Camp Connection?
We are an advisory service for summer camps for children. We, myself, my husband, and now our extended generation of our daughter and daughter-in-law, as well as other reps that we have, we matchmake camps and kids. So we spend we see about 60, 70 camps a summer. We go on to their facilities. We meet with the directors, we have meetings, we introduce ourselves to kids, we speak to staff. We want to find out the personality of each camp and what sets one apart from another. We then come back, we speak to parents. There's no fee to a parent for our service. We're like travel agents for camps. We ask parents about their children's interests, their interest for their children, their prior camp experience, because that has a huge effect on what a parent is looking for, the price point, the length of stay, the geographic distance. All of these are all phone call questions. We do not meet with our families. It is all by phone. It's multiple phone calls, as many as a parent needs. We will then do a pre-screening on those programs that we think are appropriate for each individual family. So the information that one family gets is probably going to be somewhat very different than the next parent that we speak to. We will include multiple resources on possibilities, have information sent and links, have them contact the summer programs, and even help put people on the road to visit camps for next summer, which is in today's condition with so many camps are not opening. We will assist people in making this an easier project to say, well, I can't go visit camps for whatever reason, whether it be in a truly perfect environment with no illness. We've been doing this for about 30 years, letting people go out and do this visitation. Now, would you, for the most part, buy a car without going into the car, or buy a house without seeing the inside of the house? That's what we're allowing or making available to families so that they can visit and get a real touchy feeling. There are tours, there'll be overnights, and sometimes there are some discovery nights or rookie days or whatever like that, but it's a full family environment experience. We are passionate about what we do. There is nothing more important than making this concept available to children, regardless of length of stay, whether it be a private camp, a nonprofit camp, a camp that has a religious base, a camp that has a sports base, or a specialty area base. And of course, there's always the teen programs, the travel, the language immersion, the community service. I mean, whatever aspect you'd like, national, international. There is a world out there of activities, of people who are professionals that supply really well supervised programs for younger children and older children.
I can tell you, hearing you and just thinking about all the options as a mom myself, I'm thinking, oh my God, my head's going to explode. And I think that's, I probably you've seen a big change in the 30 plus years that you've been in this business with the incredible number of offerings. And I think it can be very, very overwhelming for a parent to know.
It's very confusing. Every year there are new concepts that are coming in with camp, just like Hofstra mentioned. They've got, and all these digital programs, these esports or whatever, the travel. Kids can go to the Galapagos in Ecuador. They can go to China. They can go to any part of the world. And of course, even doing the national parks becomes an excitement, or you can learn any language. So there are concepts and ideas that parents aren't aware of. How do they find out what's available to their children? They call us. This is what my child likes. He's either maybe very athletic, or she likes dance, or maybe we go away as a family for part of the summer. I need to find out what's available for another part of the summer, whether it be a day camp program or whether it be an overnight camp program. Generally, before our concept really kind of exploded into the world of parenthood and camping, parents just knew about what their next door neighbors did or a cousin did. We've opened up that world enormously so that now from 5 choices, they probably know about 50 choices, and we bring it down to a half dozen choices.
That's very helpful.
Out of it.
And I think you make a really good point about, what your neighbors or cousins are doing might not be what's right for your child. And how do you make the best choice that is right for your child, whether it's special needs or adventure or, as opposed to just kind of following what your friends are doing, you really help them figure out what's best for their child. Can you just walk us through kind of the process? Let's say I'm a mom. I call Camp Connection. I don't know what to do. It's so many different options.
Well,
how do you help a client?
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take a profile, a basic profile. We'll find out where the parents went to camp, if they did, because that's a huge source of someone's information base. We will then ask about their child's personality, if they are social, if they are athletic, if they have any specific interest area. We'll ask the parent if they have geographically, they want to stay within a certain distance. If there's a certain price point that they're interested in staying within. If they've been to other programs before. Any information that is all held very privately. It is we do not share this information with anybody else, so that parents feel free to communicate whatever they need to about their family. And then based on the resource of this information and our experience, we will then there talk about what some options are. We will then ask them to view some of the information and get back to us. Talk to us about what you saw, what you translated in that website that you saw, so we can help you move forward. We've been to each of these places. We know what it looks like. We know the tone. We know the personality. And we want to make your child happy and therefore make the parent happy.
What a relief. Yeah. I don't have to do it on my own.
It works.
So what can people do to plan for 2021? Looking forward, hoping that, everything will be. People have been
planning since last January, before COVID.
Wow.
They've called, they've been setting up appointments. We've had multiple conversations with many hundreds of families. And we are at a stage now where we're getting input from the camps based on the state of camps not being opened, who's offering what kind of experience for these kids. And we set up trip packs for them, basically. We'll assist them in setting up appointments and going out to visit camps. And these are specifically with camp directors who are on site and who are very interested on chattering about their camps and selling their camps, because to be a camp owner, you've got to have one of those real strong personalities, and they want to show them to you.
Great. So the next step would be, and we'll get everyone your contact information too, would be to reach out to you and start thinking about 2021, because obviously it's not too soon. In fact, maybe we're behind some people. Okay, terrific. Thank you so much, Laurel. That really gives us a vision into how we can find what's right for our children and thinking forward to 2021.
Absolutely. And everybody will be safe and everybody will be fine. It'll be a great season.
Yes, everyone will be thrilled to get out. So now I'd love to turn to Mark, who is Crestwood Country Day Camp and quite an expert. What made you decide, and you're one of the few, decided to keep your camp open, because your camp is open for in-person camp. So tell us a little bit about what went into that decision.
Well, first of all, there are a number of camps on Long Island that have decided to stay open. A lot have closed, but there are plenty that have decided to stay open. And what I will say is that for months, we have been putting our heads together as camp operators and speaking with many doctors, some infectious disease doctors, psychologists, officials from New York State Health Department, from the CDC, and coming up with a plan that how can we have a healthy, safe environment where we can return kids to a sense of normalcy. This sequestration of kids for the number of months has been very difficult, and people are looking at the virus as being the only issue to confront this summer. But really, we also feel that the mental health of children is really important. And statistically, children have not been as affected as immunocompromised adults. And certainly we know what it's done to, people who are in nursing homes and facilities like that. It's been awful. But if there's any silver lining to this virus, that for the most part, children have been unaffected. Now, there was a concern a number of weeks ago, it was about a month ago, about a spike in the Kawasaki syndrome, which had everybody a little scared, which has been around for many years. And what they found is that it's been pretty quiet. You haven't heard about it. A lot of these children that had Kawasaki disease did not even test positive for COVID. So basically, we wanted to check with infectious disease doctors and what their feelings were. And many of them felt that even with the Kawasaki syndrome, children that get medical care on time are treated very well and are cured in a day and a half in a hospital environment. But statistically, as I said, it is not a big factor, and we had to be comfortable. Can we do what we've done in the past? And that is provide a safe, healthy environment for children. And in the worst of times, camp has done so much in terms of giving children confidence, letting them reinvent themselves, let them challenge themselves, learn how to fail at things, and learn how to deal with that. I think a big part of success for children is to be able to deal with failure. We live in a society where we want to praise everything and give a reward for everything. But you know what? To be successful, I think it's important to learn how to fail. I don't know too many successful people that haven't had some failures in their lives and learned from it. Well, a great thing about camp is they're going to be doing a lot of activities, and I don't know a whole lot of kids that are good at everything. So maybe you're not good at soccer, not your best thing at this point. Doesn't mean that you won't be, but then you're off maybe doing a zip line or a climbing tower or something where you feel very good about that. Look, I think that we're all wanting to try different things, and we're not good at anything naturally, and camp is a place where we teach a lot of skills. But more important than that, it's really socially bringing kids together again, learning how to not do this. I mean, right now, kids are, all they're doing is communicating on their phones through Zoom. I mean, this virtual meeting here is the antithesis of what camp is about. Now, I also want to say that some camps decided not to open because they didn't find the pathway to a safe opening. One advantage that we have at Crestwood is we have 17 acres. So distancing groups is very simple. And what I do want to say, one of the things that will be different than in the past is usually there are many things that are collectively done with large groups at camps. And right now, camps are going to be limiting their group size and doing the activities within the group size. Right now, that size seems to be about 10. Right now, the state is also thinking about probably matching other states where the group size is a little bit larger. But whether it's sports or arts or swimming or adventure, we're going to be doing all that, and they're just going to be interacting with their group. So it's limited the number of people they're exposed to, but it's a full social program. And it's something that I think, the way I look at it, this will be the most rewarding and the most important summer in my 26 years of operating camps.
I know a lot of people are very excited to get out and about and be able to have their kids have that physical activity and be able to take them off of their electronics and connect with other kids and do things they've never done before. And it was thank you for telling us about how you've been working with the CDC and you've been working with other important groups that are knowledgeable to be able to help guide your decision-making and how you're going to go about it. Can you share with us some of the new protocols you mentioned about group size? Do you have any other protocols that you can share with us that you've put into place that are different this summer?
Yeah, there are lots. First of all, I want to say, I'm going to go over some of these protocols, but once kids get to camp, it's still going to be great. It's still going to be fun. It's still going to be camp. But there are a number of things that we have in place. First of all, we've decided not to do busing this year. Not to say that there isn't a way to do it safely, but we're trying to avoid as many situations where kids are sequestered with other children inside without, without the benefit of being in the fresh air. One thing that camp is about is 90% of what we do is outside. And that is a much healthier environment than being inside. So we're not doing busing. We're doing, parents will drop off. We do have accommodations for prearranged carpools so that we know who the child will be with, and it's not a different person every day, so they're not exposed to a lot of people. We are going to require a COVID test for every staff member and every child before they come to camp so that we know we're not taking anybody who's positive beforehand. And we've already started to do that with our staff. And fortunately, nobody has come up positive. And based on the numbers in Long Island, which we check every day in the communities we draw from, the number of new cases at this point is minimal, if any at all, from day to day or week to week. What we're also going to do is we're actually going to treat rain days, which has always been a fun time in camp for different activities. In day camp, we do have a lot of indoor facilities, and we do go to other facilities around us to have fun in the rain, but we're deciding not to do something indoors an extended period of time. We're going to treat rain like schools treat snow in the summer. So if they're in the winter, if there is a full day of rain predicted, we're going to actually cancel the day. And we're not going to have, as I said, a whole group sequestered inside. In addition, we are going to go through extensive disinfection of all the activity areas and equipment. We've bought these electrostatic spray guns that pretty much kill any virus on contact. We have very much increased our staff that go around, that we do all the time, cleaning bathrooms and community areas. And in addition to that, every day, every child and staff member that comes to camp is going to be asked a couple of health questions, and their temperature will be taken to make sure that, as opposed to in the past, it used to be if you had a sniffle, you weren't feeling well, all right, you sent them to camp. What's the big deal? It's the summer. We will not be allowing, and the parents are aware of it, that if a child is sick, they will be asked to stay home, and we'll make an accommodation where they can either make up that time or get some credit to another year or something to make up for that time. We want to encourage that if you're not feeling well, this is not the year to send your child to camp. And that's true of staff as well.
Great. So disinfecting, distancing, small groups, canceling rain days where it'll be all day rain, temperature checks, testing of the staff. These are quite an extensive list of ways that you're putting protocols in place to keep things as safe as possible.
Well, let me just add a couple of things. First of all, we've evaluated every single thing we do, and we've kind of reinvented camp. So that we've done in a couple of months, which is an incredible feat in and of itself. But what I can also say is that we have certainly come up with things that will not expose kids to too many people, because there's also a concern, what happens if somebody gets sick? I saw there was a question in the question area. There is a protocol. If somebody gets sick, they will be sent home, and based on what's going on, they'll be tested. If there happens to be somebody that's COVID positive, that particular group, which might be 10 campers and those counselors, will actually be quarantined for 10 to 14 days. That's in accordance with the health department. And it's not something that will necessarily go through the whole camp, because we're going to make sure that there is not contact beyond that group. Now, if the group size increases slightly, it would be the same thing. But I will also say, children are not going to be required to wear masks. That's another question people have. If we are inside for like a thunderstorm and we're going to take shelter, we will have gaiters that we give out to kids, and they can come with something they want just to kind of cover their face for that period of time while they're inside. But that's really the only time there would be any extended indoor time. And staff, because they're with a family group or a cohort group, are only going to be wearing masks as staff if they're indoors with the kids, helping them change, etc., for a swim. And if they're doing something intimately with a child in terms of teaching them instruction in how to swing a bat, or how to swing a tennis racket, or putting on a harness to climb a climbing tower or a zip line, But basically with the normal operation, staff also outside won't need to wear masks. So what we're doing is understanding that the outside environment is a very safe one. And we're trying to avoid the couple of activities that we've done on the inside in the past. We'll be setting up tables and everything outside. And I think that, you know what, getting outside, getting in the air, getting a little vitamin D is something that's a great idea. And I think it's important that families and kids who are comfortable get a chance to step outside and kind of get back into society.
Thank you, Mark. That's really exciting about what is happening at camps, and from the zip lines and the acreage and the swimming, you know, it sounds like a wonderful experience that I'm sure a lot of children are missing. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We will share with you about how to get in touch with Crestwood Country Day Camp to learn more about it for this summer. So you'll get an email on that, all the attendees. So thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
I want to hear from you, Tiffany, from Fusion Academy, that has a digital offering and a very unique way of looking at education and fun and students. Would you share that? Would you share with us what makes Fusion Academy unique?
Absolutely. I love this question because while Fusion Academy is fully accredited, New York State approved, middle and high school, 6th through 12th grade, every classroom for us is just one student and one teacher. So it really allows for us to be customized regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the platform, right, that we're doing so. And every year we've always had students that come to us throughout the summer. And the way that our kids are doing, the way that we do that is really sometimes a combination between pairing things that a student loves to do with something that the need is there, right? So meaning that they may have to retake a class or do some pre-teaching and tutoring for an upcoming subject matter. There was a lot this year where it was really difficult to really get an understanding of the academic material this year with everything changing so drastically. So we've had a lot of families that are interested in reteaching and pre-teaching in regards to academics. So that has always been an opportunity that we've offered. This year, what's been a little bit different is that we have specific camp offerings that are certain weeks. You could sign up for a camp from 1 to 4 weeks in 4 different options. So one in game design, digital media arts, social entrepreneurship, and college prep. Now they are taught by our Fusion teachers who that one-to-one customized learning really allows for us to focus on the strengths of the student and see how we can support them the best. So now while they are camps, so that is a group learning opportunity, it really is going to look very much like this, right? There's never going to be more than 6 students in each one of the camp cohorts. And there can be 4 to 6 students in each one of the camps where the teachers are sharing their screens. The students are engaging in the material that they're working on either by utilizing the teacher's screen or sharing their own and being able to collaborate in a way that allows them to achieve a common goal based on the specific camp that you're signed for.
So you're talking about a smaller group size to be able to focus on a specific course and get that interaction between the students and the teacher in a very focused way. What are some of the 250, you just mentioned some that sound really interesting. What are some of the other courses that you're offering for the summer?
Yeah, so all of our curriculum is offered at any time of the year because the classes start with the student. You can start now, you can start at whatever point. And we offer everything from math, science, English, history, PE, right, to to immersions in languages. We have ASL, we have Japanese, we have a variety of different languages. We also have a variety of elective courses, such as acting, computer programming, design, sound engineering, as well as we have a a class called Community Minds, which is essentially like social coaching, which is done one-on-one as well. And then we have things in regards to wellness, like life skills and yoga classes too. So we really want to be able to give our students a chance to kind of dip their toe into something that they may find interest in pursuing long-term into college and beyond.
With your digital camp, are the students interacting one-on-one? They have this small group and they work collaboratively?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So while our classes typically are always one-on-one, the camp is specifically unique, where it is, there can be 2 to 6 students per camp. So really, in the same way that we're meeting while everyone is watching, the 7 of us on screen right now, we would essentially all be collaborating to create a program, create a game, right? Like a computer programming game together, right? Or whatever the different goal would be for each week for each one of the camps. It is still really focused on the small group activity, because for us, it really is important that the small development of the group can really highlight the strengths of the students so that people are being encouraged to do what they do best, right? And working in a way that's really finding success of each student while kind of filling in the gaps of what they is something as like computer programming, or in the digital media arts, they're doing everything from photography to music engineering. And people are going to come in with a different understanding of where they are in each one of those, in each one of those subject matters. So we can back up and move at the pace of each student while still getting the greater good of whatever the goal would be, like creating the video game and game design.
So it's very tailored to each individual student. So what would you say, if I'm thinking, is my child right for this? What would you say would be the kind of typical camper that you would think, yeah, Fusion Academy is the way to go?
That's a great question. So we are college prep. So all of our students are really just, they're looking for more of a customized education. So any of our students, when you're going in, when you're choosing a digital camp, I feel what you want to do is you want to be able to fulfill a need, but then also do something that's engaging for the student, right? It is camp, it is summertime, they've been trapped inside, and we want to make life fun for them, right? So the 4 different camps specifically that we're offering allows them to be able to do that, learn a little bit of a skill while engaging in something that they're really interested in. We also, we're running 2 different cohorts, essentially like a early July cohort and then a July-August cohort, where if you would sign up for week 1 of the camp, there is a 4-week process that you could go to be able to get to the overall goal. However, that's also done in 4 different topics, and it is age specific too. So what is really cool is when we have social entrepreneurship, where they're creating, developing, and marketing their own business plans. And what's incredible about that is that I have middle schoolers that are signing up for a camp like this. We also have Fusion Academies across the country. I'm one. Fusion Academy Long Island is one of over 50 fusions across the country. So I have a few students that are signing up for the camp that are also going to be in class just like this with people from California and from Texas and Florida and so on and so forth. But the goal is to be whatever that week's goal of that particular camp is, to really get a good sense of their own journey and a skill that's going to benefit them, their interests, and their future.
Thank you. That's a very unique look at, what children can do for the summer, teens in particular, and middle schoolers, and be able to get something that, maybe a traditional camp might not be able to offer them, and be able to do it digitally. So thank you so much. We're going to make sure that everyone knows how to get in touch with you and be able to visit the website, and be able to ask more questions and get their kids started. So thank you so much, Tiffany.
Yeah.
So Steven, I'd love to move to you, all the way in beautiful SUNY Purchase, where you're offering an opportunity for children to be in SUNY Purchase without having to be in SUNY Purchase. So please tell us about SummerTech.
Sure. SummerTech, this is our 19th summer. I think your bio had some old information. There's our 19th summer, and we've been building a technology camp that really focuses on the spirit of a traditional camp. I grew up going to sleepaway camp and all my life, and I took a lot of that and brought it into a forum that I found for a long time didn't have a camp spirit. And we did that by creating a leadership program. This summer, I have over 60 teachers and staff members on hand. Every single one of them was once a camper in this program, grew up with us, got into our leadership program, and eventually worked their way onto staff. And because of that, we've been able to teach in small conversational groups in everything that we do. But we always focus on the social element of our programs. So we offer you a full day where you choose a course for the week. You'll get 2 classes in that course. We offer you courses in Python, Java, animation, 3D modeling, web design, and for the first time, we're doing Dungeons and Dragons, which has been a really wonderful addition. It's one of our only almost analog offerings, where it's a group of 4 or 5 or 6 with their dungeon masters spend a week of adventure and exploration and imagination and statistics and myth and lore and all those cool things, and have a really great time doing it. And then in between these classes and in our afternoons, we offer you different electives and social activities throughout the day, whether it's wellness, gaming events, things around, we've had electives on physics and music and art and introductory courses for our main courses. But when we do our courses, we stick in small groups. In our classes, we're 3 to 1, similar to what Tiffany was talking about with screen sharing. Everybody sees each other's work and they teach in a conversational manner. One of the things we don't do is use any kind of educational software, any kind of sponsored software. We teach you the same thing that you might learn if you're heading off to college when it comes to coding or animation or 3D modeling. So we're learning real foundational material, and we see kids go quite fast through that material because of it. And I think the biggest reason they go so fast through the material is the conversational nature of our classes. It doesn't feel like school. It feels like you're hanging out with 2 other campers around your age and ability, and then working with the teacher who was once you just a few years ago in that seat, who's now off to college and coming back to give back. So year after year, our staff gets stronger and the bar gets raised, and it's very much a place of opportunity where you get on staff and you create. I know my guys are listening in right now. My main 2 guys have been with me since they were little kids, and now they're beyond college, and we've built an entire system where you log in and you find all the links to your classes and all the events and all the things that you can do during the day. And in addition, we know kids are looking for things to do during the day. And yes, we'd love them to be outside too. And I am the dad of a 13-year-old girl who's, trying to find things to do this summer too, because her camp got canceled. And so we've built all sorts of social things throughout the day. The evenings have always been a traditional fun time at SummerTech. And so we're continuing that online. So every night throughout the entire summer, even if you just come for 1 week, you have access to all of our evening events, whether it's gaming, esports, I know that was mentioned earlier, art events, music events, all kinds of things will happen at night that you can jump in and join as you wish. You don't have to sign up for them. You can just jump in, find your people, hang out, do fun stuff, and find your community. And we've always been a place about community.
That's what I really feel like, that there's a creation of mentorship and a community of like-minded children that, they found the people who have their passion and they're able to share with that.
We like to think of it as geek culture, and we say that in a very positive way. You know, and often geek activities are not intrinsically social activities. A lot of these kids learn how to do this stuff sitting in their rooms, in their dark rooms, one YouTube tutorial after the next, and they don't have those mentors, that community. But when you come to SummerTech, it's built right in. You have to have your mentors. It's just part of the program.
How beautiful is that? And what a wonderful opportunity for people who aren't able to go to SUNY Purchase to be able to experience that. What are the ages of children that can go to SummerTech?
Great question. We really start around 10, especially when it comes to coding. It's our most popular course. And we think the prerequisite for coding in the style that we do it is really just a good understanding of multiplication and division. We find 10 is about the starting point for that. Our average age last year in person was 14 and a half. We tend to be a little bit older because of the nature of the material that we're offering. We'll see kids in our coding class will complete the first semester of college coding for a CS major in about 3 weeks of our camp. They go through it very, very quickly. We'll have kids who come in, take our courses and sit for the AP computer science test and things like that. So we definitely have this community of sort of like when you get real serious about coding, you come to SummerTech, and then there's this community built in for you. Nice.
You mentioned the social aspect. Can you speak a little bit to that? You know, what are these social offerings?
Sure.
Hard for me to imagine.
It really, in our day, so if you sign up for a class, let's say you're taking Python for the week, you'll have a 9 o'clock class and an 11 o'clock class, each for an hour. That 10 o'clock class is a break to jump into our Discord server. I don't know if people know what Discord is, but it's a place to gather sort of like Slack and other group places. And in there, you'll find different channels of people hanging out, doing gaming. Sometimes we even just have these water cooler hangouts where it's just discussions of a certain topic. All kinds of things just to gather kids together and have them be together. And often it's not video. It's often usually just voice chat, which I'm finding these kids don't really need the video so much. My daughter's always on, but never on video. She's just chatting. In the afternoon, they're going to pick an elective. All of our electives are developed by our staff, so they're things that they're particularly good at, so they can be real niche things, but we'll also offer introductory electives of our main courses. So let's say you're taking animation, but you're curious about Python, you can take Python as an elective or vice versa. And then from 2 to 3, we have a social wellness period where there's no gaming. We try to get kids up a bit, whether it's light exercise or meditation or things like that. Then we take a break from 3 to 6. After dinner, we gather in Discord for all of our evening events, and you get a menu of all the evening events for the week, and then a lot will just pop up over time. We have our CIT program is all about these kids developing new events, gathering community, becoming leaders, and giving them that opportunity to, see what that's all about.
That's wonderful. It's creating this unique community online to people who thrive online, thrive in the computer environment. It's actually sounds like a nice environment for them, even though it's different than previously.
In these unprecedented times, this medium is actually something that's pretty precedented for us. This is actually a pivot that went well for us. And so it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's right in your zone. You're like, we got this.
It really is.
That's great. That's great. So what are some of them? You mentioned a couple of them. Can you mention again just a couple of the digital offerings that you're offering for this summer, or
sure,
maybe some of the most popular or the unique? I mean, you said Dungeons and Dragons. That's
been fun. Coding, like I said, has always been our most popular. Our Python course is where we recommend most people start. Some kids, older kids, like to come in and start with Java. When we're teaching coding, we're really focusing on concepts over language. You're going to learn the language, but we want you to understand these concepts so that you can move to different languages. Once you get through our core curriculum, we can offer you advanced curriculum that you won't see on our website, like game design, AI, machine learning, and things like that we want to give to you after you've got that foundation of coding. We offer animation. We use a program called Toon Boom Harmony. Half the cartoons on Cartoon Network are done in this software. South Park, it's real stuff. 3D modeling is done in Blender. It's been around forever. It's not a 3D printing course, it's a 3D modeling course. Web design is web design, making web pages. And going into web development. Once you become a coder, you can get into the making APIs and things like that. And then, of course, Dungeons and Dragons, which is a personal favorite. In fact, my first time playing Dungeons and Dragons was at Camp Wani, where Mark Transport was the counselor.
Wow, look at that connection.
Yeah.
I love it. So there, there's a lot of crossover between what a traditional day camp can offer and, what some of these unique offerings can offer you as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Steven. It really shows a great option for a type of student that, may not have known about this. Now that you in Purchase have opened it to the digital, so many more students can experience this type of mentorship and community and excitement around their passion. So thank you so much. So thank you to all of our speakers. I want to have some questions that I'd love to throw out to some of you. Jessica and Terry, can you tell me at, Hofstra Continuing Education, what are some more, I would love to hear some more also the younger, you've been talking a lot about, the middle-aged kids, the teens, a little bit older. What you help children from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So can you tell us a little bit about your younger children and how are you able to keep them engaged for summer?
Sure. Actually, we have a class on Saturday that we're going to do once a week. It's a STEAM class. The teacher is going to send a list of materials and she's going to do a lesson each Saturday. And we did ask for that one in particular, minimal parent involvement, so they can help them with the lesson each week. And they will do a STEAM activity each Saturday. And she adapted it for that younger age group. And again, it'll be on Zoom. So they'll see the teacher live. They'll see each other in the class. They can talk about how their experiment worked or didn't work, et cetera. So they can learn from each other as well. And then during the week, we also are doing a program for K&1, and that teacher is going to do a mix of stories, little reading lessons, sing some songs. And again, they're socially engaging with each other through the Zooms. They can kind of meet people from all over the island, just like a camp would. They can kind of see each other too. And again, ask for just a little parent involvement to make sure they're set up with the lesson and materials for an art project they may do based on a story they're reading, et cetera.
Nice. I think a lot of these younger kids have gotten primed for it because school, whether you're in kindergarten or 6th grade, you've already gained some of those skills to be able to do that online. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So Mark, what about you? When I think about day camp, I think also about the younger, but are there older kids at a day camp as well?
There are. We've for many years used to have a teen travel camp, and obviously under the circumstances, we're not traveling. But there are also a lot of families that have had children that had the disappointment of not having the opportunity to attend a resident camp. And we're running a teen program at Crestwood that is going to run from about 2 to 8 o'clock each day. We're going to do it 4 days a week. We're not going to run late on a Friday. And it's not going to be a typical day camp. It's going to be a combination of sport activities, a little bit of social hangout time. They're going to swim. They're going to have dinner. We're going to have fun evening activities that can be done in a sense with teens. They can distance a little bit. They can wear facial coverings. It's different than a 4-year-old. But the whole idea is teens really are craving some socialization, and they're not necessarily looking to get instruction like our younger campers do in activities, although that would be available. They want to really be able to have experiences with people their own age, socialize, hang out, do some fun things. And have something that does not resemble what it was when they were at camp years ago before many of them graduated to go to resident camp or they decided to travel with us. So what I will say is it's going to be a pretty awesome opportunity in a safe environment. And the other thing I just want to add is I know that there are parents that are thinking of lots of programs or doing things in their backyard. One thing I will say is camp is going to be the safest alternative to for children other than staying in your basement. Some parents, that's what they want. They want their kids sequestered in a house and they're not going out until there's a vaccine or whatever there is, and that's their choice. But for parents who actually are having their kids go out and socialize and go to the beach or go to the park, there will be no environment for sure like camp that will have the protocols and the different things in place so that we can bring some normalcy and we can make it as healthy as possible, no matter what age that child is.
Yeah, you've taken it very seriously. It's definitely a safer place to be than letting your children just go out biking with their friends when there really are no protocols in place and there's no real supervision. And look, our children are antsy and it's hard.
Two things I want to say. First of all, I've known Laurel Barrie for many years. I used to she used to, send children to my camps when I was in the resident camp world, and she does an excellent job. But I think she would also say that there are people that have tried to set up mini camps with groups of children in their backyard. And I have to tell you, camping is not a weekend hobby. To really do this right takes a lot of planning, a lot of the right staff, a lot of certification, a lot of protocols set up with health departments, et cetera. And I don't think necessarily that parents who are setting up things for themselves, a bunch of kids on a daily basis, hiring, some 18-year-old to oversee it and do swimming and jump on a trampoline in the backyard is really my idea of safety. It might sound like it's easy, but having run camps for many, many years, to do it properly and to keep things safe and to understand the legal ramifications, I think you really should leave it to the professionals.
Well said. Thank you. And I see Laurel agrees to that too. And I could say, Laurel, there aren't many people who run camps that don't know Laurel. So her experience is phenomenal in really helping you to figure out what's right for your children. Jessica and Terry, what can people expect in terms of a range of different people with different backgrounds, inclusion, diversity, and really, others can answer this too. But what are you finding, with being able to have inclusion and diversity at your camps?
Well, one of the things, just as a university, that's one of our goals, is to be like a parent partner from people from kindergarten straight through college, regardless of where you live or, where you come from, but that's why we try to vary the interests of different people. But just being on a college campus and being under the governance of a president and vice presidents that, take that serious because it's part of what we do as a collegiate institution. It's been something that we've prided ourselves on for years. And even hiring from the local community is important to us, and just get people involved that make up all of Long Island and, try to become one family. And like I said, that's kind of what our goal is, to have a place where people could come for anything, like we have from the summer camp to the Saturday classes. We have the Saltzman Community Center, which, people from the community can join in. So we have varied activities and many different things people can come to and be part of and feel comfortable.
That's great. Thank you. Is there anyone else that wants to discuss that? Definitely being at a large university and having different offerings allow for many different individuals to be able to come together and connect with one another. And, whether it's in a larger group or a smaller group, it allows for that to be. So that's a wonderful thing. Just quickly,
excuse me.
Yes, please, Laurel.
I just want to congratulate this group, because I know that they are not only passionate about taking their usual experience and reconfiguring it so that they can have children who will have a safe, good, well-supervised environment to participate in, whether it be in their homes and not necessarily in their basement, with nothing to look at but the games that they're playing, to what Mark is offering as a spectacular opportunity. And for people to fear that their children are not in a safe place is really something they should really revisit, because you think about the alternatives to the Hofstra program at whatever level even, and all of these is an introduction to maybe consideration for the following year.
Absolutely. So I think one of the important thing is that there are options available, and phenomenal options, whether that is that you want your child to have a more outdoor experience. Mark is sharing about protocols and ways to be able to feel safe with your children. And then there's also a wealth of opportunities, as you see here, Hofstra continuing education with a roster of incredible programming from kindergarten to 12th grade, whether it be Fusion Academy, being one-on-one and really working with teens and pre-college to help children connect and and develop and have a community there. And obviously SummerTech too, you know, where children can rally around a passion that they have and find mentors and other people that are passionate about what they are. And Laurel being able to advise us all in where to go and what to do with our children. So I want to thank all of you. I think you've given us a phenomenal outlook on the very many wonderful options that are there, that our children can have a fantastic summer and have a summer that's right for them. And you're all going to get an email from us at Schneps Media with all the contact information and websites. And they will also reach out to you too with some interesting information as well, so that you can learn more and dig in. And we thank you so much for your time here. I want to thank all of my incredible panelists here who, yes, as Laurel said, have pivoted and created wonderful opportunities for our children. So thank you all for spending time here. I know your time is precious. You have a ton to do to prepare for your students. So I appreciate your being here and sharing this information with our attendees. And attendees, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. And I wish you all well. I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy and find the perfect program for your children this summer. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.